Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about my wrap up from October through December. I didn't read very many books those 3 months, so I decided to consolidate it into one video because I don't think that'll be that long. If you want to know why I've been kind of absent since October, check out the link in the description box below, and it explains everything, where I've been, what my goals are, and how I'm going to try to amp up my reading this next year. But without further ado, let's get started. From October through December, I read a total of 8 books, which is pretty pathetic, but again, I had some things going on, life got in the way, got a little crazy. But I read 8 books, and they're all kind of lengthy. 7 out of the 8 are over 300 pages. 6 were physical books. I listened to one audiobook and read 1 ebook. I had 3 5-stars, 1 4-star, and 4 3-stars, so they were all pretty good books. I only have 3 actual books. The rest I'll show pictures of here-ish. Because I got them from my school's library, or again, they were either audio or an ebook. But the first thing I read in October was Kindred, a graphic novel adaptation. The novel is by Octavia E. Butler, and the adaptation is by Damian Duffy. I gave it 5 stars. It was 240 pages. I've read the novel before, and I wanted to teach the graphic novel in my senior English class because it's about a woman, an African-American woman growing up or living in the 70s, and she magically gets transported to the 1800s, the early 1800s in Maryland, and finds out that she has to save her ancestor, who is a white slave owner. So it's very good sci-fi. Taught us a lot about race and racism and what you'll do for love and your family. Very good book. The second thing I read in October was Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I gave it 5 stars. It was 374 pages. This book is about a boy named Wade Watts. This book is also being made into a movie, as it says right there. Now, Wade is living in the near future. I think it's 2044, and everyone lives in this utopia called Oasis Online. They live in the real world, but they connect through VR every day. And the man who created it, we can liken him to like a Steve Jobs or Bill Gates type guy. He dies and he leaves an Easter egg. So like in all games or movies, there's usually a nod to the director or creator's past or things they really liked. Like in all the Pixar movies, you can see aspects of all the other Pixar movies. Anyway, he leaves his fortune, billions upon billions of dollars, for someone to find in an Easter egg in the game. And Wade and a few other people are trying to find it. The trailer looks interesting. It doesn't look a lot like the book, but I mean, how to portray VR is a whole thing I guess we have to learn, because a lot of books coming out take place in like a VR world, but really good. Also gave it 5 stars. The next book I read was One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. I gave it 3 stars. It was 361 pages long. It's kind of like a Breakfast Club mystery, like murder mystery, kind of. I didn't like the end, which is why I gave it 3 stars. I love Breakfast Club. It's one of my favorite movies, and I liked that detention aspect of it. So basically, these students all get detention, kind of out of the ordinary for most of them. And they're in detention with this student who records everyday life for the school and posts things on social media and kind of like a Gossip Girl type deal. And someone gets murdered or dies. You find out that it's a murder. And it's trying to figure out who did it. I thought the end was really predictable at a certain point, and it just wasn't for me. I don't really do YA mystery or thriller, but I heard great things about it, so I wanted to read it. I didn't particularly like it. That wraps up October. Let's move into November. The first book I read in November was for my book club. I have a book club with a few girls at school called the Super Geeky Book Club for Super Geeky Chicks, and we tend to read geeky books, or obviously as the name implies. The first one we read was Red Rising by Pierce Brown. It was 328 pages and I gave it 4 stars. Red Rising is about the colonization of other planets. So Earth has moved beyond Earth, and these people living on Mars are living underneath it and mining, and they are told they're mining so that other people can come to Mars, but our main character finds out rather quickly that that's not the case, and they're living in a caste system where the golds are at the top and the reds are at the bottom, and he's a red, and he gets recruited by people who are trying to bring down the caste system to pretend to be a gold. So he goes to like a school. It's a really rough school where all these golds go to like become the top gold, to infiltrate and learn everything he can. It is a series. I'm stuck in book 2. I'm not liking it as much as book 1. I hear that it gets better, and I hear the 3rd one is amazing. And I think Pierce Brown just came out with the 4th one, I think in like last week maybe, or this coming week, something like that. The next book I read was also for my book club. It was Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. 2 Octavia E. Butlers in the same wrap-up. This one is part of the Earthseed series, and it was 345 pages. I gave it 3 stars. I wanted it to be better, and from what my book club told me, the other ones are better. This one is about a girl named Lauren who is a minister's daughter, and they live beyond a wall. And the reason we read it is because they live beyond a wall, or within a walled city in America in the future. And the motto of the president is "Make America Great Again." Any similarities here? Maybe? Yeah. So that's why we read it. It ended up being too preachy for me. So Lauren goes out into the world after her walled city is destroyed, and she has to live and survive in the post-apocalyptic America for the most part. Again, like I said, it got a little too preachy for me, which is why I didn't particularly enjoy it as much as the others. I might continue the series, I might not, I don't know yet. The next book I read in November was Otherworld by Jason Segel. It was 355 pages, and I also gave it 3 stars. It's along the same lines as Ready Player One. Basically, this boy gets into a huge accident with all the other people at this dance club, and one of his best friends ends up being so damaged that she gets jacked into Otherworld, which is a virtual reality type world, and he goes in to try to save her because he thinks that there's some kind of not so cool things happening. And I liked it. I liked Ready Player One more. The gamer aspect book is becoming really popular, like the gamer genre. I think my husband would really dig it. It was okay. I'll probably read more of Jason Segel's books, but it was just okay for me. That takes us out of November and into December, where I only read 2 books. December was super busy for me. The first one I actually listened to on audiobook was Daughter of the Burning City. The actual book is 384 pages. I gave it 3 stars. It's by, have I been saying who these are by? It's by Amanda Foody. I think it's her debut novel. I liked it. It's about a girl who works at a traveling carnival, a dark traveling carnival, and she can create illusions that are so real you can touch them, feel them, talk to them. They have their own lives and own personalities. And her illusions start dying, which is supposed to be impossible. She's also the heir to the carnival. Like, when the proprietor dies, she'll become the new proprietor. The beginning was great. The middle was okay. The end was very juvenile. I felt like it wrapped up way too quickly. And there was loose ends that were tied up that really shouldn't have been tied up that way. So I thought that it could have done with some more editing, or maybe it was over edited. Either way, something was wrong with it. The last book I read in December made me sob. Oh my god, I should have known. Emma Books said that it made her cry. Like, everyone has talked about it, the fact that it made them cry, and I'm a crier. Like, I cry at books all the time. But it was They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. It was 368 pages. I gave it 5 stars. It's about in a futuristic America or world where the day you're going to die, you get a call from like midnight to 1 or 2 a.m. that tells you you're going to die that day. It doesn't tell you when or how. It could be in 5 minutes, it could be in 24 hours. You could die at 11:59 that night. You could get hit by a bus. Usually, it's never like natural causes, it's always some kind of accident. But someone created an app called the Last Friend app. And if you're a solitary person, you can go on that app and find someone that either wants to support the person that got the phone call or that is also dying that day. And our characters Mateo and Rufus both get the call, and they end up being last friends, and they do so much for each other. It is such a great book of friendship and living life to your fullest. But as the title says, they both die at the end. And I knew that was coming, and I knew nothing was going to stop it. And I never hoped that it would, but it still just hit me right in the heart. That is my October through December wrap up. I hope from now on that I will have a wrap up every month and I'll have read enough books to make it interesting. If you like leave a comment down below so I can chat with you. I'll see you guys later. Bye.